Salutations everybody, it is Matty here today and welcome to my review for Nioh. After 90 plus hours, 1 platinum trophy, and just wrapping up my second playthrough in full co-op, though it's late, I'm here to finally talk about the love child between Dark Souls, Samurai Warriors, Ninja Gaiden, and Diablo. Its name is Nioh. Nioh starts off and you can see the similarities to its predecessor. You lock onto your enemy, you circle them, attack from behind, go damn I'm a badass, and move on with your life. After that first hour, Nioh takes on its own vision, making it very different in many ways from others within its genre, thus making it a standout and fantastic title. For starters, I think it's best to compare it to Bloodborne more than Dark Souls because Nioh is very fast-paced, much like Bloodborne where it encourages that aggressive playstyle, but Nioh is also a lot about patience. You can take down any enemy in any amount of time as long as you're patient. There is no need to rush any battle whatsoever, and just like in Souls games, like in Bloodborne, the deaths are only to be blamed on you. That's very important because in Bloodborne as well as Dark Souls 2, I did have a couple of deaths that I felt were entirely unavoidable, where in Nioh, every time it felt like it was my fault, not the game's fault, and that's very important to control your anger. Anyway, how does this title differentiate from its inspiration? Well, it starts off with stances. You have high, medium, and low stances. Each are very useful based off the enemies you encounter. It's not about weakness, it's about how you tackle the situation. Some enemies stun quicker than others, making them an easy target using your low stance. Also depending on the weapon you're using as well, where a Kusarigama in a low stance can be more effective than a sword in a medium stance. Then again, if you're taking on someone who's of the human form, it might be easier to parry them in a medium stance or a high stance. Naturally, high stance does the most damage, but it is the slowest. Medium is a good in-between, and low is about the speed and dodging more than attacking. Like I said, this game rewards your patience, but you can also play on the aggression where if you enter a low stance, run in for a rapid attack and dash out, it becomes a very fast-paced title despite what it rewards you for. On top of that, there's a brilliant yet minor addition of the enemy having their own stamina bar underneath their health bar. Keeping track of that is equally as, if not more, important than their health bar, because when that bar is out, they are stunned, allowing you to deal massive damage without having to worry about them striking back and punishing you, which you are very squishy in this game. You will die in just short of 3 hits most of the time. But you also don't want to be caught without ki too, and the game allows you to restore ki in a unique way, doing a ki pulse. If you tap R1 in just the right time as blue particles surround your character, you will restore part of your stamina, which allows you to stay on the aggression, stay on the attack, and most importantly, dodge the really devastating attacks the enemy can hit you. Furthermore, it's not just about leveling up with the Souls clone, which is Amrita in this game that you collect, but also about acquiring skill points to allow you to unlock unique combos that are specific to each weapon. Each weapon has different executions as well as moves that can stun or take down enemies. For example, a Kusarigama has an attack that can pull me into an enemy, while a spear attack has me launch above someone and drop down with an air attack. Each one feels unique, different, and can fit multiple playstyles. Me, I maxed out the proficiency on all the weapons with my character, so I was just messing around with all of them, and I can absolutely say all of them are fun. I do have a bit of a problem with the axe though, personally, just because I felt that was very slow, and there really wasn't much of a reward using it because in its low stance, it wasn't even that powerful, despite its lack of speed in comparison to other weapons in its low stance. The level design in Nioh is great, but I have to admit it can get repetitive at times. The game does offer some missions to extend longevity, which is fun, but a lot of times it sends you back into areas, most of the time starting you at the end of the main mission and sending you to the beginning of that, basically just flipping it. Nothing really too special about that, but it offers more content. They plant enemies in different areas as well as offer different environmental hazards, so it does make it a fresh experience. It does make sure that you pay attention, just it's in the same area again. With that said though, it has you focus on the big key points of Nioh, which is mastery. I have successfully felt like I have mastered every bit of this game because of me returning to these areas. Am I making an excuse for the potential repetitiveness of this title? Absolutely not. I can see how it might get redundant for people in the late game, but for me, I really enjoyed going back to these levels, learning where each enemy was, learning their pattern, and it rewarded me heading into the next main mission where you might get a preview of a really tough enemy that will appear during the upcoming main mission. Nioh also reminds you of your mastery when you face boss characters as just normal enemies in upcoming levels. You'll see it and have one of those, fuck no way I'm fighting that, no way I can beat that moment, and when you beat it, you think, wait, that was the boss from the previous level, and I just beat it no problem. I must be really good at this game, and it's a satisfying reminder that you are improving. This game does a fantastic job of that, better than any game in the genre in my personal opinion. Nioh does attempt to tell a story. There is a war between Spain and England. The key power to winning the war is Amrita. Kelly wants to keep Amrita going as a source of power, so they must keep war going, hence why he becomes the main antagonist. It's actually interesting, I can't lie, very much better than any other story attempted to be told within this genre, because most are so focused on getting the gameplay right, they forego the story, but this at least manages to tell something decent, while the first half of the game is very just what the hell ever, I don't care with the story. I have to say that the second half actually ramps up and becomes quite interesting and quite engaging. But during the first half, you're going to be like, who's this? Who's that? There are so many damn characters. I don't know your name. And that's why playing the Samurai Warriors games will help you with your familiarity with these characters. I've played it a bunch, so I did know these people stepping into this game. I didn't even know they were going to be in here. But if you haven't played them, then you're just going to be sitting there very confused. And at the end, you might be interested. Still, I would have went for them just foregoing William Angine, the character you play as in this game, and instead letting you create your own character. Because for the most part, he barely talks in cutscenes because the game knows that they probably screwed up in that aspect. And they probably do know that because you can transform into another character as you unlock them through the hidden tea house section of your starting point menu. From there, you can actually play Nioh, a Souls-esque game, as some of your favorite characters from the Samurai Warriors titles, which I thought was a cool touch for fans of that franchise. I did say my second playthrough was in full co-op. Here's how things work. If both you and your friend beat a mission, then you can play together in that mission, much different from the beta that released before the game where you can invite friends and play through the mission together, brand new, no problem. The reason the developer got rid of that is because they, quote, said it made the game too easy. But for me, I thought it was quite the opposite when you played the Way of the Strong difficulty, which is available in full co-op, and I played with my friend, and we died quite a bit and required a lot of focus and a lot of teamwork. The health of enemy is buffed. You also encounter more enemies in certain areas. I thought they did a good job scaling the difficulty, where I think they might have undermined their own development, or perhaps QA'd with very good players together, making them think, yeah, this is going to be a little too easy for them. The sound design in this game, I have to say, is wonderful. The melancholy soundtrack that plays along as you explore these grim levels where it's been war ravaged and now the souls of people have been transformed into yokai really brings about a unique atmosphere and a unique universe that I have not quite encountered in gaming before. On top of that, the slashing of your weapon has this almost cartoon effect, especially when you swing around the weight of the Kusari Gama. It's that very heavy cartoonish impact that almost contradicts the atmosphere, but it makes it a very satisfying system, because when you slash and you see a limb fly off, it really does bring back those Ninja Gaiden vibes that are amazing, because man, I want a new Ninja Gaiden game. I know 3 wasn't that good, ladies and gentlemen, but 2 and 1 were fucking awesome, so really, Team Ninja, if you want to go back to that, that'd be cool. I did mention I got the Platinum Trophy in this game. How difficult was that? It was actually quite easy if you put the time into it, but there are 2 trophies that stick out that really bothered me, and I know a lot of people are going to be like me who get to that point where they think, okay, there's no turning back. I'm about to get this Platinum Trophy. I might as well just push the way through. One of them is called the Regular Smith Customer, which allows you to spend 60 patronage points at the blacksmith, and well, you have to spend 20 million gold. Gold is not easy to come by, so this turned a game that really didn't enforce grinding into a grind fest, as I played the same mission almost about 5 hours. Really not a fun time for me, as well as the one that says complete all missions. Throughout the game, you unlock Twilight Missions, which are these daily missions designed to implement longevity into the title, but there's only 9, and so it really makes it kind of pointless to hop into, because at the time you unlock them, you're underleveled. Then by the time they unlock again the day after, you're probably overleveled, making them unappealing to go back to because the rewards aren't that good at that point in the game for you. But also you need to beat those for the trophies, so for me, I had to wait multiple days until I actually unlocked my Platinum Trophy. I know this might be minuscule to a lot of gamers, but I know there are people out there, like I said, like me, who will want to get that Platinum Trophy, who are interested in trophy difficulty and how it adds to the game or removes from the game. And those are just my thoughts, that most of the trophies do reward your progression and tackling on those additional objectives, but there are 2 standouts that contradict what this game stands for. As for other issues with the title, one thing I don't like is how the healing button is mapped to the D-pad, and I don't like this because it forces me to remove my hand from the movement stick to heal, which leaves me entirely vulnerable. Unlike the Souls game or Bloodborne where it's just pressing square, the use item button, which makes things a lot easier because I can continue to move. Yes, you briefly stop moving, but it's not like you're completely immobile where your thumb is on the analog stick and you're able to instantly move after. But when I was sitting there typing this review and thinking things over and over, it was very hard to draw out flaws for this title. Anytime I had frustration, it was because I screwed up, but not because of the game. This game is made with incredible precision and mastery. It's really impressive stuff and has to be one of my favorite games of the year so far. I really like Nioh a lot, and if you are a fan of the Souls games, I would highly recommend this. If you loved Bloodborne, this is a game you must pick up. If you're new to this genre and this should be your first game, well, first off, good luck. I think any point is a hard starting point for a gamer when it comes to this genre, but this isn't a bad place to hop in because it's the first of its kind. For me, I really like Nioh because it was like Bloodborne, where I'm not a big Souls fan. I really liked and beat Dark Souls 1. I beat Dark Souls 2 with Fighting Cowboy, but Souls 3 didn't click with me, and Souls 2 really didn't either. On the other hand, though, I platinumed Bloodborne and I platinumed Nioh, which are both more fast-paced games that play very differently from the Souls title, so I think that says something. So if my tastes align with yours, then you'll enjoy this game. But I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I hope you found it informative. I do apologize it's late. This is what happens when you don't get review copies for incredibly long games, but nonetheless, that won't stop us here. So let me know if you have any questions in the comments down below. I'll try my best to get around to answering everyone. Other than that, follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook. The links are, as always, in the description down below. Consider contributing to the Patreon. It helps fuel all the content we create here. Other than that, stay sexy, stay active. I love you all. Peace.